it's God's way of life featuring us. That's kind of how I see it. Yeah. We just walk alongside his plan for us and walk out in him. It doesn't mean we're like less human. We make mistakes. It doesn't mean we can't do certain things. There's some things we can't do obviously, but it doesn't mean that we can't have fun. Hello and welcome back to the Gen Free Podcast. Can I get a round of applause? Okay, that's enough. That was excellent. This is a student-led podcast focusing on discovering God's freedom in our everyday lives. I'm your host, Diana Cruz, and then Sawyer, our co-host, is not here today, so it's me,
Chris, again,
the co-host.
Yes, co-host.
Only 1 day limited time, maybe. I don't know.
Sadly,
possibly.
And who else is here with us?
Ireland. Hi. I didn't know how to introduce myself, so
I mean, I
didn't really have a title.
So like,
you guys.
I mean, that was pretty good in my opinion.
Thank you.
You to find
Emily. Hi.
There. Look, the gang's here.
Well, I went to go introduce myself when Ireland was it because she went Ireland and I started saying my name and I think Chris called.
Sorry, I didn't.
It's fine. We're all good.
It's okay. It's all good.
How's everyone's day going?
It's pretty good. Kind of tired.
No, I'm exhausted.
I'm so tired, but
yeah, graduation practice is like excruciating. Like hearing everyone's name, I thought we were done, and I kept saying kids go up for like because you had to line up, go on the ramp for practice.
Oh my gosh, and you're a C, so you're like right in the front.
Yeah, I'm right in the front, so I have to watch everyone. But it was funny though, because like some kids were just hilarious. You could tell who wanted to be there and who didn't. It was funny. It was like 9 a.m. So yeah.
Dude, it's weird.
Were you there all school day?
No. We were there till 11 because they did like the grill and shit where you got like free food. It was actually pretty good. Thank you to whoever supplied those burgers. Excellent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
And like discussing.
I'm a little sad.
Why are you sad?
My last day of school is tomorrow, and I don't get to see a lot of my friends until the next school year.
But you have
You're going back.
You're going back.
Yeah,
you're graduating, so you get to see them next year.
Yeah, but
wow.
Oh, thank you. But I'm going camping this weekend, so I miss your guys' graduation. I was gonna go, but I miss it, and I miss worship night at Chris's house, and I miss youth group.
That's the Saturday.
Yeah.
And be pulling up, rolling. I know Adam's going, so I might as well pull up.
Just a lot of things happening at once.
Yeah. You can't keep in contact with your friends?
I do, but it's different.
Yeah.
Hard, especially now you're gonna be working because she got a job.
I got a job, guys. Summer plans: work, sleep, eat.
Real.
Yeah, no, eating and drinking water is kind of important.
Yeah, at first it was just gonna be work and sleep, but might as well eat and drink in there.
You might as well, basic survival skills.
How's your day, Chris?
Yeah,
it was good. Not much eventful. I just went to work and came home early.
Where do you work? You work
with my dad.
Oh yeah.
Real man in construction. Real man do construction.
I came home really early.
With Drake.
So I just cleaned the whole house.
Why does everybody think he look like Drake?
He does look like Drake.
Dude, a lady thought I looked like Drake.
What? No,
I
know. Okay, that's a little bit.
But
Your dad is
it's
Drake,
the haircut for real.
Let's insert a picture of Chris's dad. I'm just kidding. It'd be funny. Just insert a picture of Drake.
I don't think, I think it's just the haircut and like the beard. It's the beard because it looks long. But like I look at him in the face and it's like, no.
From afar.
No. The Puerto Rican Drake. But like he doesn't even look like Drake. Like when I hear that, I'm like,
he does.
Carlos
a little bit, but obviously not exactly the same.
He should just like do a different haircut, and I feel like it would change the whole perspective. Everyone
Drake no more.
He had hair like mine when he was my age.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him, your mom, and Shayla when they were younger. Mm-hmm. Shayla was the whitest baby on earth.
She was.
Oh my goodness, it was crazy. She was so cute.
Okay.
Alrighty,
let's move on. So, y'all know the topic today?
I don't. I forget.
No.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so one remembered. Would you like to introduce it?
It's how to have fun.
No.
I forgot it then. Go ahead.
You were on the right track.
Isn't it like fun how do Christians have fun or something like that?
It's why is it fun being a Christian?
Why is it fun to be a Christian? Yes.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
You were on to something.
Okay, but I guess I feel like having fun as a Christian can tie into that, so.
But you were saying like how to have fun as a Christian. I was like,
Well, we can give you some tips if you need that, so.
Well, first you were just like, how fun.
My bad.
How fun.
Looked over it in the car on the way here, but
then
I forgot, so.
He was like, it's okay. It's okay. Just take a decompress for a second. Everybody in.
What are we doing?
I said breathe in. You just listen.
Doing breathing exercises.
Out.
Okay.
There you go. I think we're good now.
We got this, guys.
So yeah, as Aiden introduced, today's topic is why is it fun to be a Christian? Literally, like, that's really it.
I'd say we're having fun.
I say it's fun.
It's
but
pretty fun.
Like, I don't know. It's just fun. Being a Christian, like, if I could, I feel like I have much more fun now that I know who I am than when I didn't know who I am. And like, 100%. I thought I was having fun back then with all the crazy stuff I'm doing. And I really wasn't.
No.
I'm like,
I agree with you.
Yeah. So it's just a different perspective. But before we get into that.
Icebreaker.
Not an icebreaker. This whole episode's kind of just like,
I'm getting everything wrong today. But
you're not necessarily getting things wrong. You're not getting things wrong. It's okay. You want to hug? Come on.
I'm okay.
It's going to be a fun episode. Shake it out.
Thank you.
It's okay. We love you.
I love you too.
The best, Ireland.
How's everyone's prayer life?
Oh.
Let's just ask that real quick.
Pulling it nobly out.
Yeah.
Mine's great, I think. Mine's really good. Yeah.
Good job.
And I feel like I have a time in the day where I'm like, okay, I sit down and I Bible study, do it. And like, I've been on a roll with it. And like, it used to be like, doing all this stuff is a chore. But now it's like my favorite part of the day. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm like really like doing good at that. And then also I feel like throughout the day, like I'll just say like tiny little prayers, So I think mine's definitely like good. Like obviously it can be better because everybody can improve. But I think that this is the best that it's ever been.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good job.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Yeah. It's all gonna tie back in. I just need y'all to answer this first.
No, it's fine. I just on our Q&A episode.
Oh, you kind of explained.
I did explain, but for those of you who didn't watch it, you should watch it, and I'll do it again. Yeah. Like Ireland said, it could be better. It's definitely not the best. It's probably the best it's ever been, but it's going to get improved upon this summer. On top of my job, on top of learning how to drive, on top of permit, on top of everything, I'm gonna expand my prayer life, and it's gonna be great.
Period. Love that energy.
Grease.
It kind of says this in the Q&A, but
I know.
Ireland was the only one.
Yeah.
It's good. It's been better, but it's getting better at the same time. So.
The reason I ask is because I feel like even through prayer, I'll be having fun with God.
Yeah.
I've realized, like, talking to God, I used to always imagine as like this very boring ordeal. But now it's kind of fun. It's like really fun. And as a Christian, it just sounds, like for people who probably aren't Christian, it probably is like, okay, like they're used to like that religious view.
Yeah, like they think like it's like, okay, dear God, but honestly, sometimes I'll just be like, okay, here's my day. It's what I did. And like, I'll just talk to him. Like, it's like conversations. It's not necessarily like that whole like get on your knees by your bed. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And
give us this day our daily bread.
It can look like that. It's nothing wrong with looking like that. I'm just saying like, it doesn't have to look like that.
It doesn't have to. I know I think what's helping my prayer life is the way, and what makes it more fun is like the way I like just can talk with God now. Before, I think it's a good, for some people, that's a good starting basis. That's kind of how I prayed before. But now I'm just like, I'm like, God, this person is getting on my nerves. Please give me the patience to deal with today. And it sounds like a bad way to come to God, but it's really, it's not. And it's kind of comforting that I could just be like, I know that's my creator. I know that's my Lord. That's my king. But also I can come to him as friend. Yeah. Be like, bro, I don't, Lord upon high.
I have done that. It's like he knows it anyway, so you might as well just tell him yourself,
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. So like, I don't know, do any y'all two feel like that? Like
I do. Did you
just say wait?
Wait, do you want to go first?
Go ahead, Chris.
You can go.
You're already talking.
Okay. The way I see it, I do see it as more of a friendship than a religion because that's what it is. I feel like I feel like I could talk to him more than I could talk to anyone else, and then sometimes it feels like it's like I don't get my prayer out, but I know that he can hear me.
He already knows what you're like gonna say and stuff. Yeah.
And I feel like it's more understanding that way, and then I could get more closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's pretty fun to do.
Yes, it's like when you're like
pray and talk.
Yes, it's like when you're like in bed, like about to go to bed, and then you're like talking to him, and then you fall asleep like mid prayer. You're like, oh, yeah, he already knows.
Emily,
wait, what was the question again?
Like, I forgot.
Just like it was first. It was how's your prayer life, but like incorporated like. It's like, is it like fun for you to talk to God?
Oh yeah, like especially when I just do it. Like, yeah, no.
I didn't mean to laugh. I literally was just. I'm so sorry. I literally like had a thought of something that was funny earlier today, and I just laughed at it, and I was not laughing at it.
Okay,
I promise. I am so sorry. There you go.
Like at youth group, they set out 8 minutes for us to pray, and like that seems forced. But when I'm just like, God, this person is literally on my last nerves. I want to not be involved with this person. I like figure out, like I just talk to him about stuff. Like I talk to him about my grades, about, it's going to sound stupid, but about boys, about friends, about.
No, it's not.
But like I do it, and I don't know. I kind of, after I do that, I kind of like get over it, and I'm like, you are gross.
But men or God?
Yeah,
I was
like,
men.
I know that. I was like, what?
I was like, oh, this took a turn. I think we need a...
We saw the true colors.
Like, and that is the end of this episode. It has been fantastic.
Yes.
No, men. High school boys are very gross. That's not today's topic. Anyway.
Sorry, Chris.
Chris and Sawyer are excluded from
there's a few exceptions. There's a lot of exceptions.
Sawyer's not a high school boy anymore. So
but he's still a teenage boy. So like, what, we're 20?
Yeah. Anyway, and I'll talk to him about like people who get on my nerves. I just talk to him about life.
But you know what's also fun? Outside of prayer, I just be talking to him now. I be sitting there and be like, man, I tore up that plate of food. That was so good, God. Like just like that. And I find myself talking to him like that. And I wonder if like God's up there like, this lunatic shot. No, he's not. I know he's not. But like sometimes it's just a small thing. That tear up a good plate of food.
Yeah.
Half the time I like talk to myself, and I'm like explaining like, okay, like I hope I get to, like I hope traffic's okay for me to, because I walk to school.
Yeah.
And so like I don't get stopped, or I hope these people stop for me, and I'm like, oh wow, you like if I don't have my music and I talk to myself, but it's like not myself, it's God. Yeah. Without me knowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Understandable. Yeah.
Looking at me weird.
What?
You keep looking at me, and I think my like shirt's lower than that.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. I'm just trying to think. Like, there's so much things that's fun, but it's hard to like. I don't know. It's hard to talk about. It's hard to explain because I'm not sure other people would find what I do in Christ fun if you don't have an understanding of Christ. You know, so it's just kind of hard to like explain. Like I just do simple things. I'm just like, oh, on fire. Like I'm picking weeds. I'm like, oh, okay, picking weeds with Christ. Like it's just different. It's just different. And that's just how I see things. But then it also comes, there's like certain activities that like I feel like I do, like even just within the church that just top tier. Making fun to be a Christian.
Oh yeah.
Talking with people who, especially like in a setting like this, that can just like understand the vibe. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I know that's one thing. This is hard to explain.
It is. It's like, because it's like, you know, but it's also, like it's hard to like talk to somebody. I mean, I feel like it's easy. Like if somebody's watching and they're like Christian, like, yeah, I get that. But some people that aren't, they're going to be like, huh?
Like, I don't know.
You know, it's like hard to like, put into words.
I don't know. I feel like okay, maybe scratch this.
I'm sorry.
Stop touching
I keep moving my mic.
If you were advertising, this is such a weird way to put it. If you were advertising the funness of being a Christian, how would you advertise it?
Never like, well, like, what do we mean? Like events or like
just
like
anything
just you and God?
How would you advertise it?
Oh, okay. So there was. I'm better at giving examples of things that I do. So when we were at the Shout, me, my two friends, we were up because we had to be up super early. And my one friend brought out a Bible, and it was like raining. It was like the first morning, and it was raining. And we went under one of the it was like the ship that they have there.
Oh yeah,
the wooden
playground.
And we just read.
It's a ship.
It's like a wooden ship.
It's a pirate ship.
You're
for like kids.
Wooden pirate ship?
Yeah, it's on the other side. Like, you know where the big like jungle gym thingy is with all the ropes?
2 years since you've been going to this place.
No,
I'll show it to you.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You'll know
Okay,
exactly. You'll be like, think you're so dumb when you see what it is.
Probably.
Wow.
In the nicest way possible, but like, it's like right there.
No, and like, everyone like wrote on it, don't vandalize kids, but like people would write on it, and somebody wrote like Isaiah on it, and like it was like I spy, and then I just read in the rain, and then we went out and played in the rain, so it was like, I don't know, it was just fun. It was fun to me.
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I'm still a normal, that sounds bad, a normal person, whatever the heck that is. While I'm still Christian, like some things have changed in my life, but then again, I could still have fun, and I think that's what people think. People think, anyone that follows any religion, when people who don't follow,
they think it's like a bunch of rules.
Yeah,
and I think like, you know, there's difference like, having fun as a Christian, but people think like, that always has to be church, like that always has to be a church event. But also, it's like, well, as a Christian, like you can still do things, like you can still go out and do. Obviously, like there's like things that like don't go out and like drink alcohol and stuff like that.
Do drugs. Don't
like
drugs,
people
kids.
drink alcohol without overindulging.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like, go to like a party and like chug a cake, like, you know, like Chrissy, take it away.
Okay,
boom. Don't let me talk.
Having fun with Christ.
Oh, I totally forgot that was the topic. I was just
oh my god,
guys, I can't. Oh my gosh.
I would definitely say. I feel like some people would see it as a bunch of rules, but it's not. I feel like it's a way of life that you live, but also having fun in learning through Christ. And I feel like that's fun in of itself, because there's so many other things that you can do besides worldly things that are incredibly fun, like worshiping. That's so fun to me. I love worshiping.
Oh yeah.
And then like hanging out with friends, even with you guys, it's such a good environment to be in.
Yeah.
It's so fun to be around. And instead of like partying and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I think like
you can party in Christ.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Like, I think the difference is like, we can do the same things as people do, but instead we do it with Christ. Yeah. You know, like we do it with God. Like we'll just be like, you know, we have God with us. And I think that's like the difference. Like there's not really like, there's like dancing, we're not going to dance. Like things like that. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
And then
but,
some
like,
Christians believe you shouldn't.
I mean, there's, I'm not like judging anybody's, like what they believe, but like the difference is like we do things like through Christ, with Christ. And like, I think like for me personally, like if I'm going to do something, like, I'll be like, like God, like it's okay, you know? And like, I think there's like, obviously I think that there's things that like, for me personally, like some people do that I'm like, I'm not going to partake in that. But there's a lot of things that we can. And I think that's what people don't get. Like, because you're a Christian, you can't do any of these things. And it's like, but it's like you can. And like, you know, there's like, God gave us free will. Like you can do it. Obviously, there's some things where it's like,
yeah. But
you just, you know, you do it wisely and with God. That's how I kind of view it.
Exactly.
But somebody may view it differently, and that's okay. But that's just how I view it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, there's different ways. So, like, there are some people that believe it in certain lengths. And like I said, I'm not judging. But I believe I can still dance. I can still party. I can still do things. But just it's different because my will is aligned with the will of God. So I'm not going to go out and vandalize a car and be like, yippee. Like, you know, like it's not like that. Or I'm not going to go to a party and get like blackout, like wasted. But I'm still going to have fun. I'm still going to dance and talk to people, interact. And also I think another thing is I could be around those things and it won't change my, I won't indulge.
With going to those things, knowing God is the peer pressure. It's totally different because you go into something and maybe there's something that's happening that you're like, I don't know, but everybody's doing it and it's like the cool thing to do. You're gonna be like, okay. But I think with me now, like if you would have like asked me like, you know, like 2-3 years ago of like something that was happening at my school and like if bad things were happening, I could have been like, I would have been, not that I would have done it, but like would have been peer pressured more easily. But now that we have God, it's like, okay, like no, like I know where I stand. Like, so I think like it's easier for us to go into those situations and do.
Yeah, it helps you guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It even helps like at school, like you said about the peer pressure. You can have people come up to you because even though vaping isn't allowed at school, there are a lot of people who find ways to sneak it and use and stuff like that. And I've been asked like, hey, do you want to use this. And I've been able, like, through Christ to be like, no, that isn't my scene.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah. It don't mean necessarily you stop hanging out with those.
No, and I still hang out with my friends who, like, do all that stuff. I just don't. But I also don't, like,
encourage it.
Yeah. I'm like,
that's the thing. You can always hang out with friends that aren't followers and that you can still hang out.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's like something that's like people are like, oh, you can only have friends that are in, but it's also like that are in, you know, Christian, and like that's like I feel like what people normally say, like, oh, if you're Christian, you can only have these friends.
So unrealistic.
It's like okay, obviously, like you want to be careful with who you're friends with, but then if you have friends that maybe aren't, you know, followers of God, like it's like you can lead them. But like it's not like, oh, I'm forcing it. But like for me, like I have friends like that, and I can just be like, oh, but I like they're like, oh, like you're not stressed. I'm like, oh, like I just believe in God can do this, and like you know you can like
you're not forcing it.
You're not forcing it like down their throat, but you can just like encourage it.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I think what's also fun is like God sends me on a different road of discovery, and discovery is just fun. So recently, like I was having a hard time. I'm sorry. A lot of Christian music, in my opinion, sucks. It just I can't get down with it. Like I love the good soaking music when it's time to like soak. Like but then sometimes I want to like I said, I love dancing. I want to dance, and actually, like I was praying to God. Oh my God, I can't do it, man. I can't do it anymore. I can't do this. I can't do this. This music is awful. I can't. And I'm like because I wanted to find. My heart is leaning towards God's will. So I want to listen to more music with more Christian tones and more like something that I know will feed my soul. But then just the everyday, thank you, Jesus. Yeah. I'm like, no. I mean, that's a good song, but like
there's
not
nothing wrong with that.
There's like,
it's just,
yeah.
we all have preferences.
There's like Christian rap and stuff too.
But then God found my scene because I was scrolling one day and I found like a bunch of Afrobeat Caribbean songs that were Christian or like dance hall, Christian dance hall. It's a thing. It is a thing. And when I say I tore up that playlist. And it was just the small thing. I was like, thank you, God, like finally. And it also showed me that like, oh, you could make fast paced, like dancing music, but it can still feed your soul.
Like
I can still.
Isn't just once particular thing. It could be turned into a whole bunch of things, even through like music or dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that I feel like that in that way, it's fun too. That like listening to those songs and those music, even though that is Christian stuff, it is still fun to listen to and, you know, have fun.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with listening to music that isn't Christian. Like for the longest time, I would be like, oh, I can't listen to that. But it's like, you can, you know, because there's nothing like there's not really anything wrong with it. Obviously, there's some music where I personally am like, oh, well, I'm not going to listen to that. Yeah, but like, you can listen to that just like.
As long as you guard your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, continue. I just said
most of I thought you were going to continue. Most of the music I listen to isn't Christian music, but God has always been able to find something, like one of the lyrics, and be able to put a Christian meaning behind it. And I've had songs come up on playlists that are like not Christian. And like Ireland was just saying, you can listen to music that isn't Christian as long as you like protect yourself. And certain songs have come up that I'm just like, no. But I really do like the way that God is able to insert himself through music that isn't Christian, because then it's more, I don't know where I was going with that. It's like more. I
think I'm getting it, yeah.
Because like you said, the Christian music is sort of repetitive.
Yeah.
A lot sometimes. And so to drift away from that, it's like, I like that he inserts himself.
It is getting better though.
It is getting much better. And that's kind of what I want to highlight. Yeah. Like, I think we got to a point where we're allowing creativity to transfer into the Christian music realm, which I hadn't seen before. Like, I feel like a lot of times people only associate a certain sound with Christian music or Christian entertainment in that aspect. And not everyone is built, no one has for one genre, for one sound. Mm-hmm. Like, there's some people I know that can rock it in certain songs with certain like certain genres that maybe the vibe of Christian music doesn't feel. So I feel like it opens the doors for God's children to really express themselves, of course, with the Holy Spirit into music. in a way that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
And that's how they reach different people through those different sounds and different genres. Like there's
Which I do like that because I feel like the way that Christian music was, it's like you only really listen to it if you were Christian, right? Yeah. But now,
you heard that?
There's somebody honking outside.
Really
I thought my phone went
off. But now it's like, like people can like find songs that, are Christian, and it just like sounds like, music that they would normally listen to. And like brings them to it. Cause I've had like my friend at school, she was listening to a song and I was like, oh, they're Christian. She like turned it off, but I was like, but it was good before that, like right before I even told you that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think that's also,
But then if they don't know, they just hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when I saw like for a while that one Andy Mineo song was like trending on TikTok and like no one
Coming
knew,
in hot.
No one knew he was a Christian.
I love Andy Mineo. Andy Mineo, if you're watching this. Hey.
Biggest fan right
Okay, anyways.
I'm just kidding.
Switch over. That was the most interesting
I'm just
thing.
kidding.
Play the womp womp womp.
Hit the
right. That one's the right one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, that's yes. That is very special. How about you send it to him? We at him.
Yes.
At him. Because then you say he made you a promise at one of the shows.
Whoa. Well, what?
Was it you to bring you up on stage or something?
No. I don't think it was a promise. He just came up and talked to me, but
yeah, like, oh, I would have brought you up on stage for security, like
they thought I was like a little younger than I was, so he wasn't allowed to. So.
Yeah, because you look very
It's okay.
It's okay though. Next time.
That's actually kind of sad.
Next time we'll get
get your ID out. Actually, I am legal age to drive.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, for real. But yeah, like I don't know. People just make
that's
things.
Another thing.
Yeah.
There's events. They're fun.
Yeah.
Uprise.
Concerts.
So fun.
Uprise
was fun.
Uprise. So fun.
Yeah. There was a lot of non-Christians that go there too, surprisingly. Like a lot. The music's good.
It's so good.
Because there's just so many. You're not just the same sounds over and over again.
There's the rock stage, rap stage, the main stage.
There's a lot of things that I want
to... like the mini indie stage. I like that.
I think there's a lot of things that I want to be like, oh, this is so fun. But it's like church camp. Things like that. And it's like, yes, it's fun, but it's like...
church camp.
Church camp.
So fun. So fun.
I mean, I'm past the age now, but like...
yeah, later.
How would I be a leader if I don't even know what to do at church camp?
I don't know. It's just so fun.
What do y'all do at church camp?
But that's like... I mean, we do a lot. There's like worship nights. We do like dodgeball.
Yeah, just
tournaments.
A bunch of games.
And,
not just games, but it's basically church camp. You're at a camp, but
it's basically church camp. Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know how to explain. See, that's like something I was like, I don't really know how to explain that because it's like only going to be fun to some people. You know,
I feel like moral of the story: we're just people.
Yeah,
we still like to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it with a different perspective and outlook, and that's why I feel like you don't understand. Like, I'm still gonna do certain things. I'm still gonna for me, it's dancing because I feel like that's what gets me into a lot of trouble. I feel, and I don't even dance. Like,
I suck at dancing, so
me
crazy.
too.
Well, what certain groups of people would consider crazy. I don't dance crazy to my mom or my parents. I guess someone out there might think I think it's crazy, but
I've seen you dance. I like it.
Yeah, well, that's one side of it. But
I've seen you dance once. Yeah,
but like for me, that just keeps coming up because I'm like, I think especially with a lot of like entertainment, people have a lot of problems. So for me, like I'll hear people like be like, "Oh, you can't dance like that." I'm like, have y'all not like seen like other churches in different countries?
Yeah,
they go off
different cultures.
Can I say something? Something I feel like I'm totally changing the subject.
Yeah, it's fine.
Go ahead. My brain is everywhere. But at least it's somewhere. So yeah,
that works. Go. Say it.
So I think another thing that's really fun, which is like not actually like I feel like an activity, but it's like your perspective on like life in the world. Like I feel like now like that I'm closer to it, I can go outside and be like, oh my gosh, trees, like you know, like things like that. Like like it's just like oh God created this. Like it's so cool.
Tree.
Starts crying immediately.
You know, it's just like I don't know. That's just something that I think is like so fun. Like ever since like I really like started growing in faith, is like my perspective on life.
It makes you appreciate.
It makes me like, you know, appreciate the little things that I see. But
something that like you just said about perspective changing is having kids. Like at first it's just like, oh yeah,
dude,
what?
You have a kid. You have a kid.
Where are you going with this?
But now it's like you're bringing a life into the world, and you get to share what you know about God to your child. And it's so much, like, I cannot wait. It's going to be so much.
I don't have experience with that, I can't reply to that. I'm so sorry.
No, but it's going to be so fun to, like, tell them about Jesus.
I think I know what you mean.
You just led me into a frenzy to realize
You went from perspective on the world to...
No, but
old.
Childbirth.
You get to tell them what you know about Jesus and like share that with them, and that's gonna be so much fun.
I think instead of we can let's broaden that a little bit and just being like with people and not just like your kids. You know, obviously if you have kids, you do that, but
good job.
This is kind of towards teens. So I don't know.
If you have kids, good for you. I have a few friends that have kids that are my age. So like, yeah. Yeah, Mia, get into it.
Mia does not have kids.
No, but she does have a concussion. So
that is true. Pray for Mia.
So let's talk about some good news.
Good news. Mia might have a concussion, but she makes really great granola. We're advertising this once again. You can get this yummy flavors that come in blueberry, lemon, and in cinnamon raisin, which is your personal favorite.
And they're delicious.
Don't you have carrot cake?
And carrot cake flavors.
Just
from what
not
I've heard.
on the table. She has a lot of good flavors.
She has lots of flavors.
Check it out on www.goodnews.granola.org, right?
Your very own Brian Connolly eats this, so you know it's good.
Yeah, it's very delicious. Now,
it's amazing.
I have an appreciation for granola.
That is, you just when you are having fun in Christ, you do look at things differently.
Mm-hmm. Like good news granola.
Like good news granola.
It's so good.
I think we're getting better at advertising this every day. But no, I do agree because I can do things now. I actually do want granola.
I know.
Actually.
What flavor is that? Cinnamon raisin.
But I could do things and appreciate things more with Christ than I have before.
I have gum in my mouth.
Like I used to hate school.
There's like, we get a napkin over here.
Oh, do you need a napkin?
I'm kidding.
Just
it's okay.
We're
good. Just brief intermission. What are you?
I was gonna rip it together.
Give it up for Michaela.
Coming in clutch. Thank you. Just wave. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is just a really easy thing to answer, and I just wish people didn't make it more complicated. Mm-hmm. We're people. Yeah. God created us. God created us to work, but also there's pleasures in life that we're allowed to have. Like you're allowed to date, get married. You're allowed to go out and not only preach the gospel or talk to people about Christ, but allowed to interact with them, build relationship, make friends. And just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you just continue.
Yeah,
like
I feel
doing
like
this thing.
The world kind of, I mean, everybody gets labels. I feel like in this society. I have some granola stuck in my throat.
Pass me that one. I can't open this one.
And oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. What's good? Cue the elevator music.
We don't have elevator music.
We have this.
No.
Okay, that's not allowed to hit the soundboard.
Okay.
You got it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys.
Another thing. People don't think you can be fashionable, I found out when you're a Christian. That's like a real thing. People think... I feel like there's a Christian aesthetic. I was talking about this before. Like a lot of people see Christians through this aesthetically, like at least online and social media, this aesthetically pleasing point of view, which I see a lot of disco girls, beaches, and scrunchies. So that's basically kind of how to describe teenage modern.
Oh,
online Christianity.
I got it.
You got it?
Got it back. Okay. So like the world, gives us like labels, and I feel like people think like, oh, because we're Christian, like we don't do like normal things, and like we only say, okay, well, we believe in God and that's all we can do. We can only, obviously we're going to believe in God or whatever we do, but like we can only do things at the church. We can only like stay within the church. Like you can't have friends that aren't the same religion as you. You can't go out and do, like go out to a party.
Yeah.
And like,
so incorrect.
Just like, but it's like we are normal. Like you can go,
actually,
like we can go to those things. Obviously, we may not participate in everything that like you guys may do. But I mean, we're not gonna like judge you for it. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "Ooh, no, I'm not." Like, no,
because I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Like no. Like,
and like, I don't know. I think that's just like something that's like that it's like put on us in this world. That's like, oh, like I've been like, I'll be talking and somebody will be like, oh, like, I didn't know you could do that. And like Christianity was always like a set of rules and you follow these rules,
Yeah.
But it's not. And it's like what you said, like we're normal people. We just have.
I mean, we do have guidelines.
Yeah, we do.
Have to follow.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're not going to go out and do everything.
I feel like everybody does in a way.
Everybody does, whether they think about it or not.
You can eat it, but you can have some.
Then that's what I wanted to transfer over to the thing of fashion. I feel like that's why it goes back to like that Christian aesthetic. Like, you all have to dress like the same. And I've gotten some comments about like, I like funky, vibrant stuff. I don't really wear it on here because it's kind of distracting. Like if I wear like all the funky, vibrant stuff I want to wear.
You remind me of like 80s theme.
Fashion. I could see that. I honestly just like look at like old photos and like sometimes I've even like in my family album, I'm like, that fit was fire. Let me just recreate it, honestly. Family albums, great inspiration. But people think I have to dress a certain way. And it's like kind of dumb. Like, why would God give me individuality if I'm not allowed to express it? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Of course, everything comes in moderation. I'm not going to wear certain things or dress certain ways out of just respect for myself, or I don't think certain things look good on my body. But God doesn't give me a guideline on, I have to always wear nudes or synchronized colors.
Yeah.
Like, why can't
floor-length
denim
skirts.
Floor-length skirts. And though some people do believe.
I love me some floor-length skirts.
I do.
I would trip.
I'm sorry.
With a graphic t-shirt.
Tied up like right here, and then you wear some cute little Jesus sandals.
Yeah, I always wear my little bandana with it.
And then like it has like it has like the little slit on like the ankle.
Episode.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but then some people don't like. And I guess
that's the thing.
Also personal
modesty can be cute.
Modesty can be cute.
People think, it's like those like denim like long jean skirts.
Yeah,
things like that. They think it's like, the like,
only. And I mean, to each their own, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that's
we don't
ugly.
want to cast judgment.
I'm not saying that is ugly. If you wear that, that is great. But like, I'm just saying like,
jean skirt real
yeah,
nice.
you can. But I'm just saying like, I feel like that's also something that
You're beautiful.
It's fun. Like I think what I think is fun being Christian, dressing up for church. I love it.
It's a fashion
it's so
show.
fun.
It's a catwalk.
And like, you don't have to dress up. I love it. That's so fun.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't dress up very often. I'm usually in like very casual clothes, no matter where I am. Church on a regular Sunday, but like Easter comes around, I pull out my nice dresses.
Yeah.
Like there was a one year that Father's Day was on a Sunday, and so I wore like this beautiful dress. And so dressing up is very fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's a problem, but I love dressing up.
Anytime I can dress like fancy, I will take that opportunity.
Yeah, anytime. Like the prom popped off.
Like
prom. That was excellent.
I'm gonna go to graduation just so I can like dress
just so
up.
You can dress up. Do you know anyone that's graduated? Oh, me. I go to your school. LOL.
I know you.
So funny. But what is to say we can't expect? Like, why can't I dress up without someone being like,
you're too fancy
of you? I feel like we're talking about like it's fun being Christian and also like stereotypes.
Yeah, that is because there's a lot of stereotyping when it comes to this aspect.
And of course, we're not bashing anyone.
No, we mean this all respectfully.
Yeah, it's just, I guess the best way to say it, this is what we believe. And this is what we feel like is the guideline for us. Because I do feel sometimes God focuses on different things in different people's lives. Yeah. So in the realm of fashion, maybe someone struggles with what they consider modesty more than others, or consider some things modest and consider other things not, that might not fit my definition of modesty or the definition that I've been taught and that I feel like God is speaking to me about. So it's to each their own, honestly. It's kind of, it depends on where you're at with your relationship with God, I think.
Yeah, I just think like the entire thing. Like,
because I know Christian veiling is coming back. What? Have you seen that?
What is?
I keep seeing TikToks where girls girls who are Christian are feeling called to a higher sense of modesty. And they're kind of they call it Christian veiling, but it's very similar to like wearing a hijab. And it's interesting because it's to each.
I've never seen that, but
to each their own. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely like, I think what also I learned is like people are like, okay, this is modesty, right? But it's like if you were to wear a crop top, it's kind of different, but this is like a talk on modesty. So here we go. It's like what's the reason you're wearing it?
Yeah.
Right? Because like if I'm just wearing it, I'm like, okay, I just think it's cute. Like
this is like
different.
my shirt.
But it's like, are you doing it? What am I trying to say? Like,
are you doing it for the attention of it?
Yeah, like what's the reason you're wearing? Like, are you wearing it for attention from? You know,
wearing it because you think you look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all like I think modesty all depends on the mindset of like why you're wearing it. You know,
and that just goes back to having fun, but you're in alignment with God.
Exactly.
This is really like to everyone that's
Life featuring Jesus.
Asking themselves, why is it fun being a Christian, especially if you're not Christian? We literally are just humans who just live by the guidelines of God.
Yeah.
It's like life featuring Jesus.
It's
yeah.
God's way of life featuring us. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
We just walk
alongside
his plan for us and walk out in him. It doesn't mean we're like less human. We make mistakes. It doesn't mean we can't do certain things. There's some things we can't do obviously, but it doesn't mean that we can't have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't do art. God uses those gifts.
Yeah.
We have people come into our church all the time who like dance or sing, worship, and are able to use creative outlets or even non-creative outlets, do certain things.
We have like not our own, but we have artists who go to this church and do art in different.
Yeah, like take Ramon, like he does graffiti.
Yeah.
But it like uses like God through it.
And
so it's like
that's how he reaches different people too.
Yeah.
And he does tattoos.
Yeah.
And some people think that's unconventional too. Like, oh, Christians shouldn't have tattoos.
But like, check out Brian.
Yeah,
covered in tattoos. And I don't think I've ever seen that guy wear a tie in my life.
Leader.
So he is like far from like the typical pastor.
Dude, I would love to see him in a suit.
Right there. In the wedding photo.
In the wedding photo of his.
From like years ago, but
still.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him do that. So
God still uses, so Ramon does, who was on the episode on our first season.
I think he was like on our, one of the first ones.
He does prophetic tattoos. God uses that outlet, something fun and creative for his will, which can also still happen. Like there's some things I can do that's considered like prophetic art, people who make art. Art is so much fun to make, especially if
I cannot do art for the life of me.
Well, art comes in
I can't even draw a stick figure without the line and like curving.
We should test this out. We should test this out.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh.
We don't have a pen.
It's okay.
We don't have a pen. We'll test this out after the episode. But yeah, no.
Michaela's getting a pen.
Oh yeah. Okay, I do want to see that.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, so here's the piece of paper. I want you to draw a stick figure and hold it up to the camera.
I forget you're left-handed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Wait, you're left-handed?
Yes.
Chris.
I feel like I've asked that before.
Yeah, because we've had so many talks. That's not bad.
Hold that up, Michaela.
I don't think that's bad at all.
We're gonna frame it.
Let me. Girl, did you break it? Okay, so she's a little clumsy.
I accidentally broke this part.
That's how you. That's how you turn. That's how you click it and put it back.
Let me. I'm gonna draw a stick
focusing on my beautiful. Actually, we are gonna frame that.
Oh, I just tapped the mic with my chin. Hello.
Mine was like really small though.
We should frame everyone's.
Here's mine. I'm gonna write my name.
But you took your time. I just kind of.
That is me taking my time.
I like the way you wrote your name.
Rate my stick figure on a scale of 1 to 10 in the.
And then put it in the comments below.
Yes, please.
-5.
I am -5.
Oh my gosh, guys.
What? You broke it.
Oh, okay. Now you have, Michaela, so to use it now, you have to press this little thing.
You see, fun with Christ. Yay.
See, we're having fun right now.
Look, we're having fun right now, drawing stick figures.
Whoops.
Comment which stick figure you like better.
Her line does waver.
Yeah, now this is what we're doing.
And whichever one wins gets hung up right there.
Okay, do y'all want to draw a stick figure?
Oh,
yeah.
No, I don't.
No, that's mine.
What do you mean you don't?
Making fun of him.
No, because you don't.
Okay, he looks like a midgie. That's his name, Midgie. It's Midgie.
Midgie the
I'm
magician.
short, so he's short.
That's cute.
His leg is lopsided. He's like a little crooked.
His body also.
Here's another thing that you can't be funny.
Oh, we are
Like, that's a general
hilarious.
thing.
Have
No,
you met Sawyer?
No. Because I do think that, like, I've had this conversation with someone, even when I wasn't a Christian, with another kid, and we were both saying, like, Christian, even when I wasn't, I'm like, Christian's not really funny. Like, they keep trying to make jokes, but they can't. And then I'm like, no, maybe I'm just not interacting with the right ones.
Embarrassing stories regarding the topic.
Oh yeah, no, because I did that on. Like, have you ever like prayed for somebody and like went wrong, or you did something and you thought like that's what God was telling you to do and it wasn't? We all make mistakes.
I mean, I think it's not like he wasn't, but sometimes he'll make us do something to like test our faith, right?
Yeah,
not rejection, redirection. Like, so he could be like, okay, I want you to go pray for this person, and like they'll be like, oh, I don't want prayer or something. And he'd be like, okay, well, you listen to me. That's like the lesson I wanted to teach you. Yeah.
Really?
But I think that's like I don't think that there's ever like, oh, you can't fail if you're like,
That's not true at all.
There's always growing. And
yeah, you're always growing.
Yeah.
I've hit someone.
What?
No, about like a bit. I think this is stuff.
I need some good news granola to wash that down.
I tried to give context.
That was no context.
Give context before.
Zero.
Okay.
Give context before.
Okay, we were on the topic of embarrassing stories regarding like encounters and stuff, right? Praying for people. I've been shaking, but like for some reason my shakes aren't just like little shakes. My shakes are like my entire arm is shaking.
Like when you're like in the encounters.
I've been like shaking my arm, and I've hit people before, or like I'll be worshiping and like my feet kind of move. Like if there's not one person, but there have been people that I've been around that are like very filled with the Spirit, and I will like literally start walking towards them, and I'll step on people laying on the ground.
That's happened.
I've done that.
I have a really embarrassing one.
At the shout.
Yeah, I think this was a shout last year.
I
Whenever I put my hand on somebody's shoulder and like started praying for them, and they like fell.
You start laughing.
I'm a short person. I was like, oh
no!
You watch it.
Timber. Like I was like timber. Like they just fell, and I was like, I was like, oh
something like that.
Because there was nobody like Brian was all the way over there, and I was like.
But did nobody catch them?
No, they just fell. I felt so bad. I was like, ooh. Because like I wasn't like behind them. It was like this. And then they just fell. And I was like,
did they fall backwards
should have called him.
I don't even.
Yeah. For him.
I was not. I would have fallen with them. They would have fallen on me. So
no, I had something like that happen this year. Actually, with your boyfriend, Tessa, Will. We were both shaking on the floor, right?
Oh, we were shaking. Yeah, that's
we were both shaking on the floor. If y'all didn't see. And at one point, like I hit my head against his, and then I kind of just laid there. I couldn't move for a while, and I'm like, I'm gonna just, I'm like,
I have
it was funny because like it was hard. Like I felt it, but I was so in the presence of God, I kept going.
I think this is the first shout or like the second shout. It was at our church, so it was like small space. And we were all praying for each other. And Noah, Cold Iron, love him. He fell, and then I fell. But when I opened my eyes, we both opened our eyes at the same time, and we were like this close. Because they didn't have enough room to lay us down. So they just kind of like piled us together, and I was like, and we woke up, and we were like, whoa.
Good morning.
Hi.
It was so scary because he was so close, and I was like, ooh. So I just kind of like moved.
I've tripped over a little girl before.
Oh.
Yeah, it was at this show. I was like, I had my eyes closed, and I was like walking backwards, and I don't know why I was walking backwards. I think someone was like moving.
Was it like an actual like little kid?
There was a girl laying on the floor, and I just tripped on her. After I went over to her, I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
I've stepped on people's fingers before, like.
Oh, I feel like
Because like when it gets really intense and everyone's on the floor, it's kind of hard not to. Mm-hmm. So I'll be like trying to move, and like I'll step on their fingers, and then I'll feel so bad that I stepped on their fingers, and I'll like try to go back, and I'll step on somebody else.
Bro, I had this was fun. This was fun.
I've stepped on somebody's fingers, but I think that was at a lock-in. So it was like somebody I knew, so I was like,
whatever.
Good.
No.
You want to know what something happened to me at a lock-in?
All right.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Oh my gosh! Stop!
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I remember that was interesting.
Yeah, that was
funny. Now that I look at
scary.
That was a fun night.
It was so.
Oh my
much
gosh,
fun.
that actually was so scary because like I was just standing there. I was like,
I'm not gonna talk about it because no one else is gonna have context.
oh yeah, nobody will. But
I don't even have.
It was bloody. It was a bloodbath.
Yes, and he was like.
Say that.
No, Chris was like squeezing my hand like he was in like labor. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I thought I broke your hand.
Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, but I was like, oh my gosh, Chris, let go. And then he like grabbed my hand with like both his hands, and I was like,
I didn't realize I was holding someone's hand.
I think he was like squeezing. I was like, oh my gosh.
Maybe we should get context. We're running out of time. No context.
Take with that what you will.
At Chris Zapata, if you want the story.
Yes.
So.
Dang, we
email him.
Yeah.
Is that your?
Huh? My Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't even know my Instagram.
Why are we giving him his Instagram?
Well, he gets tagged in every Faith Like Birds post, so.
You're gonna get DM'd by all the ladies.
DM me.
I don't know which one.
I just like see everybody just deleting their DMs like right after they saw that.
They're like,
no,
never mind.
Retract.
Is this the one?
Okay, wait.
Okay. But this has been fun, y'all.
See, we're having fun.
We had fun, guys.
Yeah. You guys are fun.
Stop.
All right. Does anybody want to close this out in prayer?
Ireland does.
I think Ireland.
I can if you want.
Okay.
Do you, Ireland?
You can.
Actually, everybody close your eyes and just point. Who you want it? Ireland, go.
I feel targeted. This actually literally always happens, I feel like.
Go.
You're
ready.
good at praying.
Dear God, I thank you for this podcast.
Why are you saying like that?
I don't know, guys.
Try again.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Well, how do you want me to address him?
Be gentle.
Oh, was I too loud?
Yes. Dear God.
Dear Jesus. Dear Jesus, I thank you for today. I think that we were able to talk about being fun and Christianity and stereotypes, and that we were able to address things. I hope that this reaches the right audience. And I hope that people get something out of this. So, amen.
Amen. And that concludes another episode.
I promise I had to cough, but it came out as a laugh.
It's fine. We're good.
I didn't even notice that.
This was great. I had fun with y'all.
Oh, yes.
So much fun.
Yep.
It's so much fun.
I'm not doing that.
Be sure to follow us at Faith Like Birds on our Instagram, on our Facebook, on our TikTok.
We don't have a MySpace.
My vibe. And our YouTube and our Apple Podcast and our Spotify. It has been great. Buy some Good News Granola only at www.goodnewsgranola.com. Have a good night, y'all.
We're out.
Free from goodbye.